do, man. Even like when that came off, dude. You gotta keep going no matter what, bro. You're not gonna be able to see my face on this one, but I'm not gonna make this too long. It's too long, bro. I'm not gonna make this too long, but I try to take a break, but I'm not gonna front, man. My ancestors came to me and told me I had to keep going, man. I don't feel the best, but I gotta keep going because I don't know why they want me to keep doing this even when I try to take a break. But Spirit then came to me, one of my ancestors, and they came with identity to where I can't give up. They were like, we're not protecting you for nothing, you know. We're not doing all that for nothing. Even when I don't feel the best, because I don't feel the best, I'm not gonna lie, but I gotta keep going. It ain't nothing nobody else doing. I got my own shit I'm dealing with. But that ain't gonna stop me from the path that I chose to take. Because at the end of the day, I know I got a responsibility to do. As much as, I don't feel the best, I still gotta continue to do it. You know? And that's just the name of the game, even when you don't feel the best, you gotta keep going, man. And this was just a test. Like, even if you don't feel good, are you gonna show up? Because I don't feel the best, but I still have to show up. I don't feel the best. I'm not even gonna front because it's like, God damn, man. But I'm not gonna stop until it crack. I'm not gonna stop till the dust settles. Because they told me you can't stop. Even though I got fight, even though I got shit, because my family bloodline depend on me, man. Because nobody else got my ancestors out the mud but me. Nobody. I'm the one that got my ancestors free. I'm the one that was the end of the tunnel at the end of the light. They were waiting on me. So it's like, I got to keep going. We didn't get this far. We didn't get this far from me taking breaks. We got this far because I kept going. So I can't give up. Not even giving up, but I can't, even when it gets a little hard, I got to keep going. Even when the emotions are running wild, I have to keep going. So it is what it is, man. That's why I always want you to keep going no matter what. Because we're not always going to feel the best. We're not. You just got to keep going, man. You just got to keep going. Because right when I was going to take a knee, my grandma, her spirit came, was like, oh, you can't give up. You're right there. So I can't give up. I can't give up. I may not be on here that much, but I'm not going to give up. I may not be on here like that, but I'm not going to sit down because it's the enemy working too hard for me to sit down, bro. Yeah, even though I got a lot on my plate. But Big Mama know that. Big Mama gave me the light. Papa said and gave me the normal and then to keep going. You know what I mean? So I really, even when I don't feel the best, I got the support from my ancestors to say, hey, man, you doing a good job, buddy. So they were like, keep going. That's the only reason why I'm here. Because they came to me and was like, hey, man, you got to keep going. They literally came and was like, hey, man, you got to keep going, bro. And I appreciate you guys for giving me, that energy, bro. Because, dude, I need some energy, bro. Even if you're hating on me, bro, you're giving me something. But yeah, I'm here. I'm not here because I want to be here. I'm here because I'm called to be here. So I know people don't like that when you're called and when you show up, they feel some type of way. And I appreciate that because it lets me know I'm doing something. If I don't have no hate coming my way, I must not be doing something right. But I'm letting you know, bro, don't give up because your ancestors are riding for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors are riding for you. When you need a little leg up, when you need an extra kick, they're right there for you. Because right in the middle of the nowhere, I just got this thing from one of my ancestors like, hey, man, don't give up. Don't give up. because you're an inspiration. You just don't know. Motherfucker, they ain't gonna say shit, but I know what type of impact I make. That's why I'm like, yo, man, keep going, bro. Because your ancestors are fighting tooth and nail to clear the path for you, but they need you to keep stepping. You know, because every step is monumental because there's been plenty of people that gave up. Just for the simple fact that you going, even though you may not see ahead, that's all you need to know. That, hey, you're doing something right, bro, because there's a lot of people that gave up. There's a lot of people that threw in the towel. So if you keep going, man, you're gonna see why they told you to keep going. You're gonna see why they protect you fiercely, because you keep stepping. You know, you keep stepping, and you broke the generational curses on the family. Yeah, they want you to keep going, man, because you're forging a path. You're forging a path. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop, man. Don't ever stop. You got to keep going, bro. I remember them times when I was in them trenches, man. I remember them times I was in the trenches. I didn't feel the best, but I got my ass up. I took a couple knees, but I got back up. I'm talking about same day. Not like take a knee, but you're like, God damn, bitching is me taking a knee. You know, I don't like bitching, but sometimes Big Mama call me bitching. That's me taking a knee. But then I get right back in the game and get the job done. Oh, God. There's been plenty of times. There's been plenty of times where I did that, you know. So just got to keep going, man. No matter what happens. Just keep going. Because at the end of the tunnel, your ancestors are going to be there and be like, yo, man, you just don't know what type of work you're doing for your people. Like, if it wasn't for me, my ancestors wouldn't have never ascended, bro, because nobody was doing no ascension work like I've been doing. I'm telling you, that's why they're around me and stuff. Like, they're around me heavily, bro. They're around me heavily just for the simple fact that, yo, I kept putting in the work. I let things go. I cut off toxic, narcissistic people rather than staying in those karmic relationships. I did a lot. And yeah, I did a lot. So it's like, yo, I'm going to keep going, bro. Then that's what they encourage you to keep going. Right when I said I was going to take a break, I knew it. I knew someone was going to come. Somebody was going to come to let me know it's not time for that, man. You're almost there, buddy. So I'm going to keep going no matter how I feel. I could be mad. I could be sad. I could be happy. No matter what, I got a job to do. They're giving me the power to keep going, so I'm going to keep going. They give me the strength, even though I don't get a lot of hours of sleep. Even though I'm going through withdrawals, they're still giving me the strength to continue. I don't know how I'm doing it. I really don't. But they give me the strength to continue, so I'm going to keep going no matter what. Because I don't get a lot of hours of sleep. Unfortunately, due to this weed thing, I left the weed alone. And the weed, me leaving the weed alone abruptly, is making my body go crazy, bro. So day 9, but I'm good. I don't even think about it. It's just I be waking up all the time because of the weed, man. My body was really dependent on that stuff. And when I said no, my body's fighting that answer. He doesn't like the answer of me not going back to it. But it's like, dude, I made my mind up, body. You're never getting that stuff again. So he's going to have to get okay with not having weed. Like, I don't even think about weed, bro. That's how disciplined I am. It's just a simple fact that it's hard to sleep and stay asleep. Other than that, I feel fine. Other than that, I'm great. It's just a simple fact that it's hard to sleep, man. It's hard to sleep. But other than that, bro, I'm good. No lust, none of that, even when I'm down in the dumps, because sometimes you like to sexually validate yourself. They were testing me. I passed on my test. I'd rather sit in them emotions rather than go do some dysfunctional stuff, They were just trying to see what I was going to do. Even if I'm down, I'm like, if I'm down, hey, I'm gonna stay down till I'm up. I'm not going to go try to, find some escape route to go patch that up. I'd rather sit in the energy, man, and be, be okay being in that energy rather than me running away from my problems. I realize I create more problems running away. I'd rather face it head on. If I could face the devil head on, I think I could face some emotions. You know, if I can face the devil head on, I think I can face a little bit of sadness, you know. So it's not really a big deal. I just turn on a song, you know, just turn on a song to make me feel any emotions instead of running away, you know. Even when I was playing my boy Vile, I was trying to run away from those emotions that it made me feel on this song for what I'm like, man, because it just puts me in a, you know, everybody, you know, if you don't know that song, go play it. But, you know, that song's real sad, kind of. Not sad, but it brings those emotions that I got to face. So it's a good song, but it definitely puts you in your head in a good way. Kind of makes you introspect and see what really matters. You know, I just know this genuine love matters, not no fake love, you know. That's why I'm waiting. I'd rather wait to get that right person because I'm like, man, this is not worth it. It's just not worth the risk of picking the wrong woman, you know. And the great mother told me, when it comes to your counterpart, bro, just focus on yourself and keep healing, and then that you know, you ain't gotta look for him, bro. But you know, you just gotta keep doing you, man, and then they're gonna fall right on your lap, bro. Literally, just focus on yourself, send them love, and just do you, bro. And then eventually, because the divine is fighting tooth and nail to get it through. So you ain't even gotta, you know, do too much. Just fix yourself. Make sure that you're whole. Make sure that you're working on those things to get you more aligned for companionship, and then you'll be all right. But then they're gonna come sweeping in, sweep, you know, pulling the rug from under your feet. How quick they come in. But the key is to just stay in an optimistic vibration because they're connected to your thoughts. And if they feel doubt in your mind, they're going to start getting doubt. So just keep that confidence, keep that space for them to, you know, come to you. Don't force it. Yeah, don't force it. Even in the most divine, obligated, priority relationships of all of them, we never force them. We kind of let them, you know, because we all know no matter what, they're going to come. No point to force. You know, no point to force the sun to come out if you know the sun's going to come out. You know, that's the key. It's like, yo, you naturally go to them because it's in you. It's not like it's outside of you. So you always are going to naturally flow to your person. Whether they like it or not, whether the enemy's trying to stop it, no matter what, it's embedded in your DNA. That individual, so you ain't gotta worry about it, but you ain't gotta stress over it. You ain't gotta put no fear in it. You know, you ain't gotta do that. It's gonna come. You just gotta keep working on yourself, bro. That's what I do. I keep working on myself. You know what I mean? Make sure I get, you know, yeah, keep working on myself, bro, no matter what. Well, yeah, because that's the only way I can be with a person if I keep working on myself and keep building, you know, a place, you know, yeah. Keep working on yourself, man. That's it. You getting the time to be by yourself is a blessing because right when you get that person, your life is going to change forever. You're going to have to get used to being with somebody and shit, you know? So just value the time you have alone because, yo, bro, it may never be like that ever. Like, ever type shit. When I'm picking up, you know, not to say that's a bad thing, but, bro, especially somebody like me, I'm used to being alone, bro. Not to say you know, but I'm just keeping it a stack. So when that happens, dude, that's something new. I'm going to take it, but I'm just keeping it a stack. Yo, that's new, man. That's new to have somebody with you all the time. I'll do it. You know, but that's why I'm valuing my time because it's like I know it's going to change. Because that motherfucker goes stick like glue, dude. I turned the chat off because there was too much negativity. Like if you're sending me love, bro, appreciate it, sister. But I did turn that chat off. There's too much negativity coming in. They're trying to mess up the chat. They're trying to mess up my flow. So I had to turn the chat off, you know, because I really, you know, really don't have time for that negativity right now. I just don't have time for it. I can be an infernal being all I want, but we don't deal with negativity, bro. We don't. We're not wicked beings, bro. We literally just fierce power, and we got the biggest hearts in the galaxy. We're not even on that weird shit. Even though they may look monstrous, and even though with that primal power, they're not. We're not here to hurt nobody. We're just some fierce protectors. That's it. We're not on that weird shit. How they try to make it look like we're demonic. No, bro. That's that weird shit. That's that weird stuff. You know, that's not us. That is not who we are. They've been lying to you about, divinity. It's just two aspects that are so complex for us to understand, to where they think that it's good and evil. No, man. With the stuff I'm talking about. Now, there is some evil out here that looks light and it looks dark. So, confirmation like the churches, and then the demons that they be talking about that be in people. You know what I mean? That's evil. And then you got the horned people. People think that's evil, but no, that's just that primordial nigga from them primal realms that tapped into his true self, so those horns are coming out. You know what I mean? That's not evil, bro. We got dragon beings out here, niggas that could turn into full dragons. That don't make you evil. That just means you're diverse and complex and not human. That don't mean you're wicked or evil. They just make you think that. Because some of us are full-blown dragons. Drake, you know what I'm saying? So that don't make you evil, though. Don't let nobody tell you you're evil when you know who you are, and and they may not be what they expect. That don't mean you're evil, because you know your heart. You know who your heart. You know where your heart is at the end of the day. Because I don't let none of that get to me. Because people see the type of stuff I put out, they think I'm some type of wicked guy. I'm like, dude, I'm from the Inferno realm. I'm from the Primal realms, brother. I'm just repping I'm sovereign, bro. I'm a sovereign being. I know who I am. So if you don't like that, I know who I am, dude. It is what it is. Yeah, man, you got to keep going, though, bro. Just like, yeah, keep going. Even when your dreams, like with this boxing stuff, I may not. Who knows if I get the Crawford fight? But at least I got to fight. At least I get my hand. Yeah, but it's all falling into place, though, man. You know what I mean? And that's crazy, though. It's crazy how my great-grandma came, bro. My great-grandma came because she knew it. I made my mind up. Just to focus on training and leave this shit alone. She came to me, was like, no, you can't give up. I don't care how many views it look like. It ain't the views. You don't know the type of energy you're putting out. It's beyond the views. It's like what you're doing and what this type of message you put out. So it's an example that you're putting out. So it's like it ain't got nothing to do with the views. It got nothing to do with the likes. It has a lot to do with the work you're doing, with the intention, So that's the only reason why I'm here is because my great grandma came and she was like, "Yo, you can't take a break." not in the way that I'm trying to, because even though I don't want, even though like I try to just do what I do, but there are people out there that are looking for these and that actually grew from what the hell I did. But it ain't me, doing it. It's the divine, though. I just want you to know that. This is the divine working through a nigga. Confirmation. That's the only reason why I can have all this stuff is because, the gift from mama. Gift from my mama. And then the love. Because it's like, just for the love of the primordial being, of the upright, divine beings, got me to do this because it's like, yo, man, I know there's people with good hearts that are reciprocal reciprocate this, that'll take it in and understand that, yo, man, this dude know what he's talking about type of shit. That resonate with it. That's why I keep going, bro. Not because of the haters, not because I'm almost to 1,000, meaning like, trying to get subs. It's not for that, man. It's really not. I don't do this for clicks and likes. I do it because they tell me to do it. Because when I try to take a break, they always come. They always come and tell me, hey, man, you got to keep going. So I'm here, Yeah, bro, I'm here because of the divine, bro. I promise you that. I'm always here because the divine tell me to get here. Even when I don't feel the best, even when my situation gets fucked up, even when I was going through hell, in hell, still show the fuck up. Still show the fuck up. And even almost battling myself, still showed up. That's why I can't wait to get in the ring, because I have resilience. I have a lot of resilience in me, man. I don't give up. I don't really take too many breaks. It just lets me know, like, yo, man, Crawford, you're in for a rude awakening, buddy. That's if you take the fight. I think he knows I'm gonna beat him. Yeah, I think he knows I'm gonna beat him. Cause there's no way. It's been 4 years that dude still hasn't fucking responded. It's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Seems like you're ducking me, bro. It seems like you're ducking me, dude. I don't want to press him, but Big Mama said, Papa said, you might have to press him a little bit. Get in his face, I'm gonna have to figure out where he at and get in that dude's face. And kind of like punk the nigga a little bit. Like, dude, I gotta make you feel like a little nigga or something, bro. Because if you don't acknowledge this fight, bro, you might, you might. Oh no, bro, because it's like it's there. It's there. Believe it or not, the fight is right there, but it's up to Crawford to take the fight. So, like I said, if we can't get Crawford, David Benavidez. If I can't get David Benavidez, Jai Opataya. No, Zurdo Ramirez. There we go. Like I said, we have to wait for Jai Opataya because he's a really good fighter. And the great mother said, you got to take your time with Jai. Yeah, you gotta take your time with Jai Opataya. Once I figure out what his weaknesses are, I think we're going to capitalize on that fight. I just have to see him fight better competition. You know what I mean? Because I know he doesn't have a gas tank. He doesn't have a gas tank to, if you can keep up the pace with him, but you have to be defensively sound with Jai Opataya. Jai Opataya is not somebody you stand in front of. Jai Opataya is not somebody you go on the back foot. Jai Opataya is the person you move lateral. You move side to side with. You can't back up. You can't, back foot with Jai. You can't. Unless you're cutting angles. That's what I see with him. Because he's going to put you in a corner, you're done for. You can't let him put you on the ropes. You have to be in the center of the ring to beat that guy. Because you got to use the ring against him. That's what I'm starting to see with Jai. See, I'm starting to see a little bit. But you have to set that stuff up. It's easier said than done, right? But I see where I can get him. I see it, but it ain't enough for me to take the fight now. But I know he'll take the fight ASAP, but I'm like, I'm not ready for that guy. You got to give me David Benavidez or Zurdo Ramirez, or I'll get Crawford before I fight Jai, because I see Jai, bro. He's pretty good. He's pretty good, man. But he's at 200. He's in the cruiserweight division, so if I can't get anybody, it might have to just be him, because I just can't be scared. I'm not scared, but I just can't be like, dude, act like this dude, Superman or something like that. It's just when you respect that dude power, I'm like, dude, I got to figure out, how to make sure I'm not putting myself in harm's way. That's why I need me a little step-up fight before I get in there, because, you know what I mean? I do not want to just jump in there with that guy. I respect that guy too much. But, yeah. Just keep going, man, because you just don't know what's at the end of the tunnel, bro. You don't even know. Just for the simple fact that you kept going, bro, that's how you made it this far. Yeah, bro. Just for the simple fact that I didn't even take too many breaks. That's why I've been hitting quantum jumps. Even with these, it's helping me out. Everything I do is helping me on my ascension. Because it's healing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's why they say, don't stop. Keep going, bro. Keep being consistent. I may not keep posting like I've been posting, but I'm going to stay consistent. Because heavy is the head that wore the crown. I know I got a lot of stuff I got to do, but that's not going to stop me. That's not going to stop me. I'm going to continue to do what I got to do. Because, like I said, when you ascend and when the type of being you are, yeah, your responsibilities are going to ramp up. It's like you got a higher job in a position. Yeah, your salary's high, but you still have responsibilities to do, you know? So that's just the name of the game for some people, you know? You just got more things and you got more, what's the word? More obligations, you know, because your salary went up, your ranking went up. So I can't, you know what I mean? Feel the pressure of the obligations and then back up. No, they gave me this stuff because Grandma will never give me something that's too much, you know. So I just keep that in my head. She gives me enough to work with, and I'm gonna keep working with what I got, no matter what, no matter how I feel. Because I don't, you know, I was just feeling like, yo, man, I just needed a boost. I just needed a boost of love, and my great grandma came right at the nick of time, man. She came in right at the nick of time. I knew she came because she came in my head and she told me to do something for her. I'm like, oh man, because I didn't even have it in my head. That's how I knew she came. She came to me. She came to me. She was like, yo, yo, yo. I know it's tough, but just know, keep going. And I'm here. It ain't really hard physically. It's just emotionally, man. Because you feel stuff, man. You do nothing about it. It's nothing you can do in terms of like trying to avoid certain things. And it's just like, God damn, man. I'm like, man, I got to feel this out. I'm trying to take a break. That's basically what I was trying to do, man. I'm like, God dang, Mom. My emotions are heavy. Can I take a break? I'm like, you better work through that. That's like me in the ring, man. My nerves are getting to me. That don't mean I'm gonna step out. No, I'm gonna work through those nerves. Like Jail Pattaya. I'm gonna work through those nerves. Like, dude, I think I can beat that guy, but I'm not just gonna jump in there with him. You gotta give me Crawford. Once I beat Crawford, then I'll fight Jai. You know, if I can beat David Benavidez, then I'll fight Jai. You feel me? Real still. Because I know John Patel would love to fight me. He's crazy, bro. I respect that guy. I think I'm going to fight Jordan Thompson. If I can get him to go to cruiserweight. If I can get that guy to go to cruiserweight, that dude's 6'6". Dude, that'd be awesome. Like, if I can beat that guy, dude, I'll fight Jai. Dude's like 6'6", bro. Linaire Perot just fought him on, was it an MVP card? I think it was an MVP card. And you know Linaire Perot is like one of my favorite. He's like my favorite heavyweight boxer. I mean, AJ is AJ. Everybody loves AJ, right? But when it comes to people that's not AJ, yeah, man, Linaire Perot. He has a brother named Linaire Perot. But I think his name Michael Thompson. I forgot the big, tall dude he fought. Dude, I'll fight that guy. I'll fight that guy right now. There's certain people I know I can beat. There's certain people I know I can beat easily. But then there's certain people I'm like, I have to get experience before I get in there with him. You know, I have to learn a couple things on the job before I get in there with him. Like, Jai, order better be. Order better be. But these guys, like, Great Mother told me, like, no, you can hang with all these guys. You just got to believe in yourself and you have to stay in shape and work on your strengths. And you can beat these guys because it's in me. So, yeah, man, you got to keep going no matter what. Because everybody don't feel the best. You know, not everybody is going to feel happy. You're not going to feel happy the whole time. Even when you don't feel happy, you got to keep going, bro. Because a lot of people, bro, they get down in the dumps and they stay in bed all day. Just for the simple fact that you get up, you got to give yourself credit. You do. Just for the simple fact that you're up. You got to give yourself credit. You know, a lot of people be taking breaks because they don't feel too good. Just for the simple fact that you getting up, bro. You know what I mean? No matter what. You're going to be rewarded, bro. You're going to be rewarded. Even though it may take a minute, man, because good things come to those who wait. And the Great Mother, I know how she do it. She would rather, you know, it's like a video game, you know. Some people, some people objectives is longer than others because she knows you can get it done. Just like on 007 on the GoldenEye on the N64, if you play on a 007 mission, you're gonna have extra objectives than it's on secret agent and agent. See, because the difficulties are agent all the way up to 007. And 007 is the hard difficulty. But when you play on that hardest difficulty, you have extra objectives. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're going through. Like, yeah, I may have extra objectives, but I can still beat the game. You know, even though I may have more things I gotta do, that don't mean I can't do it. You know, I've been doing it. I've been doing it, so I'm gonna continue to do it. You know, heavy is the head that wear the crown. Yeah, I know. I'm because it's like I'm one of the ancients. I woke up, so yeah, you got work to do. I'm one of the ancients. I'm the people. I'm like nigga, you reading a book. I can't speak on it too much, but yes, nigga, yes, I got work I gotta do. You know, yes, I got work I gotta do. Yeah, this is a job. This is a job because I work for the divine. You know, I work for the divine, so this is a job. You know, and sometimes, nigga, you gotta work, whether you want to or not. I know it don't make sense, but I know how the divine work. Like if they see me taking a long break, they're gonna make my life hell to get me back on the spiritual path. I don't even want to stop to where it get like that. That's why it's like I'm gonna continue to go, no matter what. And then when I know when the great mother want me to take a break, because you will get the setup to take a break. If you feel like there ain't no break to be took, you can't take a break at that moment. She'll set it up to where you know when to take a break. It's not time to take a break. It ain't time to take a break. It is what it is. Because even with 2-3 hours of sleep, I got the most energy to continue to do what I got to do. So yeah, I know when I could take a break is when I'm on vacation. I'm not on vacation yet, so I'm not gonna take a break. I'm still in this town. I'm gonna keep working until I'm outside of this town. I'm not gonna stop. If I'm still in this town, that means I ain't done. So therefore, I'm gonna keep working, no matter what. Whether I'm crying, whether I'm mad, whether I don't really feel the best, I'm gonna get my little ass up and I'm gonna keep working until I'm out this city, because I gotta make it out this city. I do. No matter what, gotta keep going. Just keep going no matter what, because we're dependent on you, man. Believe it or not, there's people dependent on you. Even if you don't think it, there's people depending on you to get to where you gotta go, bro. So don't give up. Because my great grandma came to me. She was like, no, we need you to keep going, man. You just don't know the type of things that you've been doing. Because people don't give me credit. People don't give me my flowers in terms of to let you know what you've been doing. But the cosmos know what you've been doing. Your ancestors know what you've been doing. The great mother know what you've been doing. And they're like, no, you got too much momentum. You got too much, you got too much riding for you right now. You got to keep going. I'm like, what? You just don't know. There's people that are waiting for you to get to that other spot. Like, sometimes you connected to co-ops. Like, in a video game, you got a co-op missions with people. Whether we like it or not, sometimes you are connected with somebody. If you stop too long, and if you know what I mean, you kind of messing up their growth. You got to go because you have the bigger energy imprint. So they kind of go off your command whether you know it or not. You know what I mean? So it's like if you kind of put that energy out to break and they're not feeling the best and they're sitting in that energy, you know what I mean? You don't want them to backtrack, even if it's on them, but still, if you kept going and you got that bigger energy imprint, they're going to low-key naturally gravitate towards that pathway that you're on. You know what I'm saying? By continuing to go no matter what. But if you halt, you can low-key make them halt to where, you know what I mean? To where it's like a co-op game, bro. You want to continue to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this. the co-op game to where it's two players. That second player is trying to jump off the screen, but they can't jump off the screen because the first player ain't caught up to him yet. It's literally like that. To where sometimes, dude, you gotta keep going because if somebody's depending on you to keep going, because hey, they can't go without you. So you gotta keep going, bro. You gotta keep going, dude, no matter what. Sometimes it's a co-op mission. You connected to people, bro. And it's like, dude, sometimes it's 2 players. Sometimes it's 4 players. Sometimes there's 12 players. Dude, and one of them is the leader type stuff. And if you stop, they all stop. So you can't stop. You got to keep going. I don't care how you feel, bro. Because I didn't feel the best. My great grandma had to come and get me on here, dude. My great grandma came to me. It was like, I know you ain't getting enough sleep. I know it's hard, but you can't stop. There's other people, you know what I mean? We know it ain't easy. We know it ain't easy. We know this shit ain't easy, but that don't mean nothing. I play the game on hard, boy. Look, I play the game on hard. I play the game on hard. I don't play the game on easy. I don't play. If I played the game on easy, dude, I would get a job. You know what I mean? I would have been settled. I would have been had kids. If I played the game on easy with somebody I really don't want to be with, I would have been. You know what I mean? I play the game on hard, boy. I play the game on. I play the game on hard. I know the game, but I'm gonna get rewarded, bigger rewards playing the game on hard. If I played on easy, bro, I don't want trinkets. I play the game on hard, so I'm getting planets. I'm creating planets playing the game on hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, my type of power, dude, I can create a planet. They just don't know. They don't know the type of capabilities we got. That's why you got to play the game a little bit hard because you just don't know the type of abilities that you're forming from the pressure. Yes, your neuromelanin going through these metamorphosis through your resilience. You're forming into something totally different just because of that pressure on your neuromelanin. Yeah, your neuromelanin grows through trials, you know, through trial and error and through alchemy. So you can't stop. And then next thing you know, you just made a planet without not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. You just don't know. You just don't know, bro. You just don't know the type of abilities you're unlocking just by you continuing and activating yourself and awakening because the people I'm connected to, you're beyond certain things. So, bro, you're connecting to some abilities that we can't even speak on. That's why you shouldn't stop. Keep going. Keep going. You can't stop. Because if you stop, bro, and you got like a co-op mission, bro, you kind of stopping some people connected to you. You may not know them. You may know them. You know what I mean? But just don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give up. You know? Because it's way better. It's way better to keep, it just feels better. It just feels good when you stay in your stuff no matter what. Because just like, that's a good work ethic. They can say what they will, but my work ethic is elite. I love working. It take a lot for me not to have a job. Because it's like, dude, I love working, but it was taking too much of my sanity away and too much of my creativity away. But I'm a hard worker when it comes to me and being in the Matrix when I was in the Matrix. So it takes a lot for me not to work, bro. But, hey, that music is not mine. I don't want to get copyrighted, all right? That music ain't mine, bro. That music in the background, I got to, hold on, bro. Yo, that music in the background, YouTube, that is not my music. All right, YouTube, that is not my music, YouTube. That's somebody in the background playing it. And just let you know, YouTube, do not copyright me, bro. Trying to say some weird stuff. Because I don't know that song, bro. They're gonna be like, you were playing a song. I'm like, dude, that's not my song. Respectfully. But yeah, man, keep going. Because your ancestors are rooting for you. Your ancestors descended so high because of you, man. Because you continued and kept going, and you brought them with you. You know what I mean? And they're on a high level because of you. So they're always going to send you encouragement when you don't feel the best, right? When you feel like you can't do it, they come in and give you enough strength to continue the path. Because I was going to take a break. Just focus on training and stuff. They're like, don't give up. Don't give up on your person, man. Don't send that uneasy energy to your divine counterpart. They're like, no, you got to keep going, boy, because she feel that. She feel that. She's like, no, you can't pull away from her. Wherever that bitch at. She's like, no, you can't put that doubt up in the air. Like, not really doubt, but it's like, I don't know what you call it, because I don't know. Uneasiness. Uncertainty. There we go. Don't put that out there. Keep your faith, because your commitment is being tested. Your faith is being tested in that love story. So you don't want to stop. Yeah, you don't want to stop, because the stuff I'm connected to, dude. We go through those. We go through those phases. We go through those phases where we don't, you know what I mean? But they continue. They press on to where it's just a roller coaster. It's not what you feel. It's not necessarily something that you want to feel. It's just sometimes things come up and you process it, because you know that ain't you. You know the type of faith you got. You know the type of knowing you got. So you got to have that knowing no matter what. No matter if you know, no matter what. Because you don't want to put no doubt when it's forming, because, man, that fuck up momentum. Just keep going no matter what. Until, don't put none of that weird energy out there, because they can pick that shit up, bro. Don't do that. They can pick that up, bro. I peeped it. That's why I make sure I'm not. I know I don't. I don't look at people some type of way. I kind of I worked on being disciplined and keeping my eyes on what matters. Because if I start having a wandering eye, dude, she can pick that up. If I got lustful thoughts in my head, she's going to pick that up. So you know me, bro. Dude, I'm like, that stuff don't matter, man. That stuff don't matter. Love is devotion. Love is devotion. So you got to be real devoted, no matter what. All that other stuff don't matter, because it's empty vessels. That looks nice. Fake gold. You stay to the real gold. Because your counterpart's real gold. Don't be focused on these trinkets. These are trinkets out here, man. What you're going towards has substance, and it's going to last. This stuff out here ain't going to last, man. This stuff out here ain't going to last. So don't ever chase this stuff. This stuff's not going to last, bro. That's why it's like, just focus on what matters in life. Stuff that's real. If you know what I mean. Just focus on the things that matter in life, bro. But yeah, man. Shout out to my ancestors, bro. Shout out to the ancestors, bro, because I needed that. I needed that boost. Because there's people all around the world that's connected to me, I don't know, that go off of my imprint. Because if I keep going, they keep going. So it's like, no, I can't put that energy out there of taking a knee, because they're going to end up taking a knee. And what if they're in the trenches and they can't take a knee, and they got to keep going no matter what? Because I'm so powerful, my imprint is felt globally. So if I stop, half of the world might stop. So I have to keep going so half of the world can keep going, Even if it don't seem like that, it's literally like that. If I move, they move. You know what I mean? So I got to keep going, dude. I can't let nothing get in my way. I can't let nothing get in my way, dude. if the government can't get in my way, I'm not gonna let nothing get in my way. You know what I mean? Like they been trying to stop me, dude, but they couldn't do nothing. So that just goes to show you, you got to keep going. There's a reason why they're protecting you like that. So don't, if they're protecting you fiercely, you might as well keep going. If they're protecting you like that, there's a reason, bro. Do what you gotta do. Yeah, boy, they're protecting me like, dude, they're protecting the mess out of me. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, I'm gonna keep going no matter what. They came at the nick of time. I'm like, she came because I was gonna probably take like a week break, knowing me, knowing how I do things. I wasn't gonna be here for like a week, and that would have been momentum down in the drain. Because they're all about consistency. They're all about consistency, man. So they're like, hey, man, you don't want to stop the momentum. You don't want to stop the momentum. You don't want to stop the momentum because I see what happens. Just for an example, Stephen Fulton, Stephen Fulton wasn't locked in and he wasn't consistent on training. And his recent fight on the Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Rhodes card, the dude was 2 pounds overweight. Dude wasn't focused. You know what I mean? And he wasn't consistent in the gym. And he let his emotions get in the way of his training. And he wasn't focused because his emotions were scattered. And that's the key of not going even when you don't feel like it. He let those days where he felt down get to him to where he would escape to food. He would escape to probably drinking. You know what I mean? Low key. To where he wasn't that disciplined. Even when those days he didn't feel the best, he should have continued to keep going. I bet you he would have made weight. It just, I know what he was going through. I can see it in his eyes, man. He's going through, some pain. But it's like, bro, it's okay, bro. You got to keep going, even with the pain. I like Stephen Fulton. I ain't got nothing bad to say to the guy, but I know what he was going through. Bro. You can tell he's going through something. I can see it in his eyes, man. I can see it in his eyes. That's why it's like, bro, you got to stay in yourself even when you don't feel the best. Because I'll guarantee you, if he would have fought through those emotions and stayed disciplined, he probably would have won that fight. I can see it wasn't the same Stephen Fulton. It's not the same Stephen Fulton that I know. It was like, dude, he was battling something. He just hopped in the ring to get that check. He did enough training, not to be too fat. He did enough training to get the check, because he was already fighting something before he went in the ring, because he wasn't focused all the way in the fight. I could tell he wasn't too focused. But even when you don't feel the best, you can still lock in and stay focused, no matter what, because you're still sharpening your skills. You're still staying on your stuff. You're not letting nothing get in your way. You're not going to let nothing get in your way. And a good example for that is Jermaine Franklin last fight. Jermaine Franklin lost his father. He may not have locked in that much, but he was going through that because losing your father, man, that's, especially when he was your coach, is a lot. But he didn't let that stop him. And now he has a fight with Moses Hatama, and he's going to knock out Moses Hatama. So I'm letting you know, Moses Hatama is going to lose to Jermaine Franklin. Believe it or not, he's going to knock that dude out. That dude hasn't been tested yet. But if he would have took that pain that he felt from his dad and let that sit him down, he wouldn't be focused and consistent on knocking Moses Hatama out. Even though he's going through stuff, he's going to use that pain into purpose. And he's going to use that pain to knock out Moses Hatama. That's what Stephen Fulton should have did, and that's what I do. Like, even though I feel pain, I'm going to turn that pain into power. I'm going to use that to motivate me to continue to keep going. And that's going to actually make you better because you're transmuting that, and then you're healing yourself. You're healing yourself. You're not letting that pain rule you. You're ruling that pain. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're ruling that pain. So don't let nothing get in your way. Don't let nobody get in your way. Don't let pain get in your way. You use that pain. You use that anger. That's what I do. I use the anger I have towards people I don't like, and it keeps me focused. Because I know I'm disliked, dude. I don't want to be liked by everybody, bro. I'm not a people pleaser. I really don't care what people think of me. So I use that hate as fuel to keep going. Like, I'm like Floyd, bro. I love hate. I get more hate than love. So it's like, it is what it is. Well, I get more love than hate, but people don't show it. But the hate that I see, I use that hate to fuel me to become a better person. Because I know you don't like me. So if I continue to better myself, you're going to hate me even more to give me more energy. So I might as well keep working on myself so you can hate me, because you're feeding me at the end of the day. Because you hating yourself is giving you disease. You hating me is draining yourself. You know what I mean? So I might as well keep working on myself so I can get your energy. Don't let nobody hate stop you from continuing what you're doing, because people will show you they don't like you and be very disrespectful. But you use that to fuel yourself. You don't use that to react. You use that to fuel your passion. Like Coach Malachi did, like Floyd Mayweather did, because Coach Malachi always talked about it. Your haters will hate you to success. Shout out to Coach Malachi, True Media Today. And then Floyd, bro. Floyd, I don't like Masonic Floyd. I don't like Freemason Floyd, but I like Money Mayweather. Because, dude, that's the only reason why he was a good dude in the ring, bro. Because people were feeding him. People wanted to see him lose it. He knew how to take that energy and use it against people, bro. I love Floyd in the ring. I'm going to always give Floyd Mayweather his credit. You ain't going to never hear me talk too bad about in the ring Floyd, because, it's boxing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He may not be the best person outside of the ring, but when it comes to that boxing, you can learn something from Floyd to where you can take that and apply it to other areas in your life. So shout out to Floyd Mayweather. You ain't gonna never hear me say too much bad stuff about Floyd, but he is a Freemason, and take that for what it is. But I did learn a lot from Floyd. I did learn a lot from Floyd Mayweather. Sure did. Sure did, buddy. That's why I'm like, no matter what, you let confirmation from me, touching my nose. You use that hate to fuel your desires, fuel your dreams, because it'll work. You're transmuting. That's what I got here. People used to send me so much death magic, and I use that death magic to ascend. Because people, man, be sending me magic all day, every day. I just use that magic to elevate. I don't let no energy be wasted. I don't let no energy be wasted. I use that energy for something in my life. Yeah, I use that energy for something. I don't just let it to waste. But yeah, man, that's about it. Because you know how I get it. I gotta keep some of this energy to myself because I still got a whole day to do. Yeah, Big Mama came. Was like, I gotta keep going. So I'm gonna keep going. I told you. That's what I'm like saying. I take breaks. Because if I say that and it ain't time for me to do it, Great Mother is gonna come right in there and give me a reason to get on. Every time I try to step away and go in isolation intentionally, maybe not be the right time, she always pulls me out and be like, you're not done working. You're not done working. She'll see me an angel, in real life, just to give me the love that I need at that moment to keep going. She does it every time. Not one time she missed. If it feels like I'm going to take a break that I shouldn't take a break, she'll honestly send an angel my way to be like, hey, man, keep going. Don't you dare stop. But I appreciate the Great Mother because she's around me and she sees that. She sees I want to take a break, but she's like, nah, you're not going to take a fucking break, buddy. I love you too much. I love you too much for you to stop. So I'm going to continue to keep going. No matter what. But yeah, man, that's about it, though. That's about it. I ain't got too much to say. Ain't got too much to say. But yeah, man, keep going no matter what. Even if you don't feel good. Because it's gonna make sense in the end of the tunnel. You're gonna be like, bro, I'm glad I did, bro. I'm glad I did. But yeah, man, that's about it. That's your boy, I'm out. You wanna send a cash donation to your boy? I'm on Cash App, EG Fisker 1. EJJIFISKER 1. Oh, all lowercase with the one at the end. But I'm out, man. Peace.